15 million Americans off the health care they now have. This guy wants all of the power. We are spending over twice as much per capita on health care.
I want to hop into a Bernie Sanders interview on CNN discussing Donald Trump and the plans for his administration. So if you can, leave us a like on the video. It lets us know you enjoy the content, gives us a huge boost in the algorithm, and let's see what's being discussed.
What is your response to the fact that the president has ordered 2,000 National Guard troops to California?
Look, Dana, we have a president who is moving this country rapidly into authoritarianism. He is suing media who criticizes him. He is going after law firms who have clients who were against him. He's going after universities that teach courses that he doesn't like. He's threatening to impeach judges who rule against him, and he's usurping the powers of the United States Congress. This guy wants all of the power. He does not believe in the Constitution. He does not believe in the rule of law. My understanding is that the governor of California, the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, did not request the National Guard. But he thinks he has a right to do anything he wants.
You have to love how consistently conservatives are like states' rats when it comes to things like gun control, but then Trump does some crazy shit like this and they're cheering it on, and it does fit in perfectly with his dictatorial aspirations. California not only didn't ask for it, they outright said we don't want them or don't need them. And also, just a quick funny tidbit about all of this, all the same Republicans now supporting this were calling it a direct attack on states' rights and unconstitutional when Biden was pondering sending the National Guard to Texas. Trump is disappearing people without due process. Like, you have to understand the moment. He's violating people's First Amendment rights and deporting them for their associations and beliefs, deporting U.S. citizen children with brain cancer, mind you, and green card holders without criminal accusation. And now when Americans are rightfully upset about it and rightfully protesting, he's sending in the National Guard. That's just not, it's not what you do. One, the state should handle it. If the state can't handle it, they would ask for the National Guard. If the state is saying don't send them in, you're a dictator if you send them in. Like, these people literally would have cheered on the Gestapo.
Senate Republicans are eyeing changes to Medicare. We know there are also $700 billion worth of cuts in the existing bill to Medicaid. Is there anything that you and Democrats can do to stop it, since you just don't have the votes?
Well, let's be clear, Dana. What these guys want to do is, according to the CBO, throw 15 million Americans off the health care they now have, on top of the 85 million Americans who are currently uninsured or underinsured, and on top of the fact that we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people. As you may have seen, there was a report, a study done by Yale University and the University of Pennsylvania. They said 50,000 people a year are going to die because of their lack of health care.
And it affects all of these things because Medicaid is a large part of the funding for them. And without that funding, they lose staffing, billing hours for insurance, the ability to run as many tests, menial tests that have costs but find these underlying issues. And it will have these downstream effects that affect even those not on Medicaid or Medicare, which is now also under fire, though it's funny how that's another lie that's being revealed. Trump promised time and time again he would not cut Medicare. He won't touch Medicare no matter what. First, he was on board with this bill that would have triggered an automatic $500 billion in Medicare cuts, which is like a clever way to do it without saying you did it. But he's now supporting direct cuts to it. So just 100% going back on it in hopes to, of course, steal your grandma's health care to pay for his rich guy tax cuts. Never forget, in this bill, anyone making under $51,000 a year will have their taxes increased. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime is temporary. 7 to 15 million people will lose their health care. That's before they start touching Medicare. People will die, tens of thousands of people each year due to these. School lunch programs will be defunded. FEMA will be defunded. We will have less ability to respond to natural disasters. The Department of Education will be defunded. We won't have the same standard of education for special needs children, for the poor. All of this will be defunded for rich guy tax cuts.
Are you concerned about America's runaway national debt, and would changes to entitlements like Medicare be necessary to try to rein that in?
Donna, let's talk about health care for a moment. As I hope most people know, not only are we the only major country on earth, not to guarantee health care to all people. We are spending over twice as much per capita on health care as the people of any other country. The function of the American healthcare system is to make huge profits for the insurance companies and the drug companies. And if the Republicans are serious about cutting healthcare costs, you don't throw people off of Medicaid or Medicare. You have the guts to take on the insurance companies who are ripping off the American people every single day. We're spending $14,500 per person on healthcare. Outrageous, unsustainable. By far the highest prices in the world. But the Republicans would rather throw people off of Medicare, children off of Medicaid, rather than take on the insurance companies or the power of the drug companies.
100% objective big boy facts, but I do want to show you guys something very quickly. The idea that our entitlement programs are what cause our debt it's a complete myth, right? It's created by the right to further justify their perspective. Even with our spending increases, we know for a fact without the Reagan, Bush, and Trump tax cuts, we would have permanently declining debt, we would have no deficit, and it would soon be paid off. If not, with COVID-19, obviously, and the Great Recession, that kind of messes up the timeline. Without those two things and the tax cuts, our debt's paid off already. The biggest causes of our debt is literally that. It's these three tax cuts and the Great Recession, both done by Republican administrations. Tax cuts by virtue of Republicans being the ones to always sign them into law, and the recession is directly on Bush's hands from his aggressive deregulation of our financial markets, pressuring Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac into accepting risky loans and approving subprime mortgages, when his tax cuts also directly hindered our ability to respond forcefully on the federal level, where he also ignored the warning signs that were showing as early as 2005 because he wanted the political win of, oh, well, my economy is great. So it's hilarious that these clowns will always talk about Democrat spending and cutting entitlement to be fiscally responsible, when all you have to do is stop cutting taxes on the wealthy and trying to deregulate our markets. This is why Republicans historically have created more of our deficit. They've added more to our debt. And again, their tax cuts, their things like deregulation that led to the Great Recession, are why we have such a massive debt. It's Republicans complaining about an issue they created.